Hi, everybody, and welcome to the second video of our series of the disjointed letters in Quran. In the last video, we just analyzed Surah Shura, and we talked about three letters, Ain, Sin, Qaf. And we said that Ain stands for Aql, or a brain, the human mind. This is Ain, the initial of the Arabic word Aql. Sin is the initial of the Arabic word Sama. Sama, it is ears to listen. And the final letter, the Qaf is the initial of Qalb. And Qalb is the heart, the human heart. So today we'll be just validating again the Qaf letter. We'll be checking Qaf in Surah Qaf. But before we start, I just would like to draw your attention to some point. In these videos, I'm just using the Yusuf Ali translation of Quran. This is the version I'm using now, but it's okay. If you have any other version in your hand, it's okay. You can use any of these. All will be working fine. Now let's start to check Surah Qaf. Yeah, in Surah Qaf, we have the surah starts with the letter Qaf. First verse in this surah, it is Qaf wal Qur'an al-Majid. It is just the letter Qaf and the Holy Quran. The verse is like this: Qaf, letter Qaf, and the Holy Quran. And we said that Qaf is qalb, it is the heart, the human heart. And today in this surah, we'll check the evidence that also indicating that Qaf is qalb. Let's check verse 16. In verse 16, it is saying, "It was we who created man, and we know what dark suggestions his soul makes to him." So God is saying that we are the creator of man, we created man, and we know exactly what his soul is suggesting for him. So God knows exactly what is going on in your mind and in your heart. And then God says, "For we are nearer to him than his jugular vein." We are closer to the human being than his jugular vein. And God here is giving an example by the jugular vein because, it is something that everybody can see. It is something in your neck. This is the jugular vein. If you can see, this is the jugular vein. And you don't need to have an MRI or any kind of X-ray or anything to know exactly what God is talking about. It is the jugular vein in everybody's neck. And if you asked anyone in a medical school or anyone who's familiar with the jugular vein, they will tell you that the function of this jugular vein is to take the blood. It is connecting brain and heart. It is a direct connection between the brain, the human brain, and the heart. And it is taking the blood from the brain to the heart so that oxygen will be added and the blood will be pumped again to the brain after adding the oxygen. So it is a connection between heart and mind, and that's why God is saying, "I know every suggestion in your soul." Any suggestion will be coming to you, any idea going inside you will be coming in one of these, either your mind or your heart. And the jugular vein is connecting both the mind and heart. Also, if you check the bloodstream, the direction of the bloodstream, it is moving from the brain to the heart. So again, in this verse, God is pointing to the heart. God is pointing to the human heart. Let's check verse 33. In verse 33, God says, who fear Allah, God is saying that He will be rewarding the good people. It will be just giving them paradise. And paradise will be for which kind of person? The person who feared Allah, the one who is afraid of Allah, most gracious unseen. Yeah, this is the kind of person who will be afraid of Allah without even seeing Him. So, most gracious unseen, and brought a heart turned in devotion to Him. So, you're turning to God by heart. So, anyone who is afraid of Allah and who just turn his heart towards God, this one will be rewarded with paradise. So again, the verse is stressing heart and the function of the heart. Okay, let's check verse 37. Verily, in this is a message. God is saying in this surah, all these verses in the surah, there is a message. Verily, in this is a message. And this message for whom? It is for any that has a heart, got a heart and understanding, or who gives ears and earnestly witnesses the truth. So only two kinds of people who will be getting the message from God. One has got a good heart that can understand, that will be reasoning, a heart that will understand and will be reasoning the good and the bad, and or another person who got ears, who can just listen, who will be listening carefully to each verse. So God is clearly pointing to the importance of heart. So the beginning of the surah, God is saying, Qaf, this is heart, qalb, heart, and the Holy Quran. So God is starting with the letter Qaf and the Qaf wal Quran al-Majid. It is the heart and the Holy Quran, and God is establishing the relation between them. There is a strong relation between heart and the Holy Quran, and God is just stressing this in verse 16, where he is where the bloodstream is pointing to the heart. Also, again in verse 33, when he said that the heart, the people that will be rewarded paradise, only those who turn to God with their hearts, who direct their heart to their God. And in verse 37, finally, God also states that in this surah, there is a message, and this message will be reaching only people with a good heart, or people who can listen carefully to the verses. So all this is pointing to the heart. So again, this surah confirms that Qaf, it stands, it is the initial letter of the word qalb in Arabic, and a word qalb means in English heart. This is the human heart, and as you can see, it is showing on these three verses. And why God is stressing the importance of heart in this surah? Because if you check the first 8 verses in the surah, God is just laying the background in front of you. God states that all these believers are not influenced or affected by this Quran or by the verses, and they always deny the truth coming in the Quran. Why they are denying it, and why the Quran is not influencing their hearts? Because they don't have a heart. They are not listening carefully, and they don't have a heart. And you can find this relation also in Surah Al-Hajj. Check Surah Al-Hajj. Surah Al-Hajj, it is saying that, do they not travel? God is asking a rhetorical question. They are not. The disbelievers are not believing, and the Quran is not doing anything. It is not influencing them. Why? But God is asking, do they not travel through the land? These disbelievers cannot travel through the land and see my signs in the universe. Do they not travel through the land so that their hearts and minds may thus learn wisdom? So God again is stressing the importance of heart, and the function of heart here, it is mind. Heart is reasoning. The heart is reasoning. That's why the word mind coming between brackets, because this is the function of the heart. So that their hearts will be doing the mind thing, will be reasoning. And this is again, it is told in verse 37, they have a heart and understanding. Again, heart and understanding, the same relation. It is again in Surah Al-Hajj, hearts and minds. So the verse is saying, do they not travel through the land so that their hearts and minds may thus learn wisdom, and their ears may thus learn to hear? Again, God is saying that to be influenced by these verses, or to be influenced by God's signs in the universe, to know the truth, you need to have either of both, either of these, either a good heart, or you have ears, you're listening carefully. So either you listen carefully, or you have a good heart. And this is again stated in Surah Qaf also, either you have the heart or the ears. It is the same thing. It is said in Surah Qaf, and it is again said in Surah Hajj, when God is showing the treatment for the disbelievers, how they gonna believe, how Quran will be touching them. If you continue also the verse, it is saying that truly it is not their eyes that are blind, but their hearts which are in their breasts. God is saying that it is these disbelievers cannot see truth. Why? They are not blind, but the heart actually is blind. So they are not blind in the eyesight. It is not a problem with their eyesight. That's why they cannot see the truth. No problem with the eyesight, because it is not the eyes that got blinded. It is actually the heart. The heart is the organ that is blinded, and then they won't be able to see the truth. And this is exactly the same said in Surah Qaf. So all this will be confirming the same thing, that Qaf is just about the heart, the human heart. By this, our video finished, and just follow for the next video, where we'll be discussing the next verses, like the Sin and the Ain, the other letters we examined earlier, to make sure whether they will be confirming to the meaning detected, or the meaning will change through the verses. See you in the next video, inshallah.